Morning, watching Breakfast with Louise and Dan.
No, we're expecting something really special now. Fingers crossed. Paramedics are used to travelling by ambulance, motorbike and helicopter to deliver emergency care. But soon they could be taking to the skies in jetpacks.
The hope is that suits will dramatically reduce the response time to get to patients in otherwise hard-to-reach areas as well. We'll be going there live shortly, but first, here's a report from Sharon Barber.
It was one man's dream to fly and an emergency service's desperation to reach critically ill patients much quicker that's led to this. A test flight for the Great North Air Ambulance Service that they hope will lead to them launching the world's first jet suit paramedic.
You know, we're not talking about big distances, but we're talking about steep gradients, and that's the difference. You know, our personal experience of carrying medical kit up the side of a mountain in the lakes to get to someone having a heart attack is so difficult. You know, we're fairly confident that with a rapid response car and a jet suit that we're going to really reduce response times in the area. This is obviously a real kind of sea change in potentially how we deliver remote medicine.
The jetpack can fly for around 5 minutes. But this flight in the Langdale Pikes took just 90 seconds to reach the location, a journey that would have taken around 25 minutes on foot.
If someone had a cardiac arrest on the top of Helvellyn and we were able to deploy the jet suit, I'm confident that we'd have a defib on that patient within 8 minutes.
And right now, how long would it take?
Right now, our aircraft would probably be the first on scene, obviously, and that might take maybe 20 to 25 minutes.
Richard Browning was wearing the jet suit he invented to show the ambulance service how it worked.
So the jet suits, in fact, you've got a couple sitting behind here. They work by using microjet engines. So pretty much the same things that you have on a jet aircraft, you know, jetliner. There's two on each arm, one on the back. And the way that they then blow so much air downwards allows you to then lift off the ground. And then all the maneuverability is actually down to using your own natural human balance and coordination. If you point them increasingly downwards, you go up, and as you flare them out, you come down again. Nobody
in the world would expect that as an air ambulance we could get to someone in a jet suit in a matter of minutes and get them some pain relief or ultimately, in the worst cases, save their life, and that it's safe.
But how safe is it?
It is very safe. We only go to a height where if you still fell, you would be able to recover. It wouldn't be a terrible injury.
The Great North Air Ambulance Service is now in talks to make modifications to the jet suit with the hope of sending a paramedic up to reach their first patients by next summer. Sharon Barber, BBC News.
I can't stop looking at those pictures.
Amazing, isn't it? It's actually fascinating.
Wow.
We'll speak to the inventor behind those jetpacks in just a minute.
Look at this!
Let's have a look at the minute. Oh, there's 3 of them. It's like Age of Ultron. One of those is Richard, who's the inventor behind this, who's going to be talking to us live in a moment. Just have a look at these pictures. If you're asking about speeds, they can do about 40 to 50 miles an hour at top speed. Richard was just telling us about how hard they are, or easy, depending on how good you are at controlling them. You can spin around as they're showing. They can fly for around about 6 or 7 minutes of flight time. But the amazing thing, as we heard there in the film, is that they can do a run that would normally take you 25 minutes to get there by foot in just 90 seconds.
It is like something out of a film.
It's brilliant. It's
isn't
like
it?
Iron Man coming to the rescue.
We didn't know that there were going to be 3 of them today. I think this is Richard Browning, who's the inventor and founder. Hello, are you Richard Browning?
You, Richard? Indeed, yes, hello.
Yes. Richard, I mean, we've been absolutely mesmerised this morning by these packs and what they can potentially do. Let's just go to that point again. Are they safe? I mean, you're clearly good at flying them, but they're safe, are they?
Yeah, I mean, it's as safe as a motorbike. If you take it very easy with a motorbike, it's fine. You can obviously not take it easy, and then it's not fine. I mean, this is why we don't fly very high. We fly, relatively sort of terrain-hugging, pretty low, just to manage the risk. They can go very high, but yeah, it's not that dangerous, really.
We were talking a bit about the technicals of it, Richard. So give us an idea of how long you've been working on this, and what's the sort of next step? Might we see people like yourself once they're trained up, sort of flying around and being paramedics in the lakes?
Right, so this journey started 3 and a bit years ago with a somewhat crazy idea of could you fly as a human being in a really sort of new and unusual way, adding the minimalist amount of equipment and fly like, you know, we all dream about sometimes, you know, when we're asleep. And since then we've done like 100 events in 31 countries. We've even trained 50 clients to fly these. But one of the things that we've explored is indeed this, you know, great idea from the search and rescue community about could we plug the gap between vehicle and footborne first response and helicopters. And judging by the footage we shot a couple of weeks ago, it looks like we've certainly got a role to play. Yeah, I think this can become gradually more and more present in all sorts of different niches.
Should we go to Andy Mawson, who's a paramedic, who is in front of what is now it seems to be old technology, Andy, to be honest with you. We saw you in that report. I mean, you really have got high hopes for these jetpacks, haven't you?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks. Very high hopes. As you say, the technology behind me is really advanced. HEMS aircraft still got a huge role to play in our area of operation. But the use of jet suits to get to the top of the fells quickly, I think, could be increase our impact as a charity massively.
Richard, I want to come back to you on that issue. Obviously, the helicopter behind Andy is very expensive. How much does your suit cost, and can you sort of produce many of them, and could it be sort of scalable up?
So we've only sold a couple of them because really a little bit like a Formula One car, that was not really the main aim of it originally. The two we did sell were just for some clients of ours that wouldn't let up on their desire to own one. But we did sell those for £340,000, really because that represented the kind of disruption to what we were doing otherwise. We can make them a fair bit cheaper than that, but certainly an awful lot cheaper than a helicopter. And it's a lot easier to learn to fly one of these. We train people maximum a couple of days. Some people pick this up in the morning, believe it or not, when they're all tethered up and can do it safely.
And I just want to ask you, so, I mean, having looked at it, you can't take an enormous amount of kit with you, but would you have enough to, have your life-saving equipment on your body, so to speak?
I mean, Andy's better to comment on this, but if you think about a motorcycle paramedic in a city...
Go on, I'm going to let Andy do it, Rich. That's right. Andy, you go for it.
Sorry about that. So we're looking at potentially carrying around 10 to 15 kilos of medical kit, which is really quite extensive. So one of our rucksacks that we would carry is about similar weight. So a solo paramedic would respond with defibrillators, emergency drugs, ways of gaining intravenous access, and then patient monitoring equipment as well. So it's akin, as I did hear Richard say then, it's really akin to like the concept of a motorcycle paramedic, except arriving by air.
Richard, we would like, at the end, if this possibly, we'd like you to sort of fly off for us. But before you, I know it takes a bit of time to get ready. Before you do that, how hard is it to actually learn how to use the kit?
You're not going to believe me if I say this, but we've had people learn this within 5 to 10 minutes on the training tether. Usually it's a couple of days, but some people pick this up almost effortlessly, like learning to ride a bike. It's something you feel, and it uses your natural sense of balance you employ to walk around. And we've got a great new training centre at the Goodwood estate where we've had lots of clients come and learn with us. So it's actually surprisingly easy. You should come and have a go. Do
you want to, right, that's the invitation that we needed. We'll be down there at some stage. Do you want to get ready? Get your 45 seconds to get ready. Come back to Andy while you do that. Andy, it'd be amazing to see this as what would be, hopefully, in the future, a really good extra tool in your armoury. I think you've hit the nail on the head. When you think about sort of mountain incidents, they're very complex responses with a number of agencies, and I'd love to say a huge thank you to the mountain rescue teams as well that we operate alongside in the Lake District. Very much the the owners of that terrain. This is an addition to the service that they offer and that we offer with the aircraft. So, we see a number of patients that we have to send a critical care team to immediately, which we do in the aircraft. But there's also a huge number of patients, especially in the school holidays, that might have lower level injuries, broken legs, broken arms and things like that, that don't require a helicopter, but still might wait an hour for a mountain rescue team. And it's those patients as well that we think that we can help.
We're going to let Richard take off, I think. Are you on your way, Richard? I don't think he's not going to be able to hear me, is he? Go for it. Go!
Fire the triggers, Richard. Let's see it. Richard's saying it's a bit like a motorbike. So I'm assuming he's got the throttle there in his right and his left hand, powering up. So it takes about 40 odd seconds to get ready apparently. But we've given him plenty of time, so hopefully we're not too far away from takeoff. We've had a live jetpack on BBC Breakfast before.
Here we go.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, was it?
Here we go. It's one of those moments where we hope it's successful. Oh, it's off. That is so cool,
I mean, the
isn't
one
it?
thing that strikes me, Andy, as he goes off into the distance, you are going to cause quite a stir on the mountains with these, aren't you?
Yeah, they're certainly. You're not going to arrive quietly, that's for sure. But I think one of the things from the footage that struck us all was just how safe and how measured Richard's flight was up that terrain. You know, we're not sticking a rocket on our back and shooting off into space like a deflating balloon. It's really safe, really measured, but it's certainly quite noisy.
Andy, so great to talk to you. Richard, if you can hear us in the distance, thank you very much. Fly safe.
You can just hear the engine sort of whirring away there.
Oh, he's gone
He's off
somewhere into
somewhere,
the distance.
saving the world.
Quite extraordinary.
It's amazing,
Brilliant.
that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant bit of technology. And